education and career mapping, vocational versus academic path. What is right for you? I'm a pastor. I who am presenting the paper, I'm Robert Udoipa. And all of us know this is career seminar of class of 2009, Lutheran High School, Robori, the Old Students Association. Today is Friday, 17 October 2025. Introduction. Let me make this remark before I continue. The organizers of this program has done very well. The speakers I've seen are very tall people because the one who has just finished is not short, and I believe I'm not short. And we are blessed with a very short stand to use. So that God will help us. I am exceptionally delighted and thankful to the executive and members of class of 2009 Lutheran High School Obori, the All Students Association, for affording me this rare opportunity to deliver a paper at this historic occasion. My joy emanates from the fact that this is not just an opportunity to teach, but to also unlearn certain things that I've learn and relearn from the great scholars and creative thinkers who are here. Since the tendency to know has no bounds, whether in age, sex, social, or cultural standing, the zeal for knowledge is also boundless, hence dynamic. And I want every student here to know that as far as knowledge is concerned, it has no bounds. So you must develop a strong zeal to learn, and you continue to maintain the zeal and you keep learning until you get to a point, let me say an enviable point. So don't ever be tired learning, nor feel you have learned enough. No man had ever learned enough. So continue to be hungry for knowledge as students. Read the books that government and your teachers have recommended, and read the ones that they have not recommended, for you to continue to acquire knowledge that will make you a workman that needed not be ashamed, as the Bible says. My appreciation will be incomplete without putting on record that the organizers of this seminar deserve a pat on the back for their success. It is not easy to organize an occasion of this nature, but they have done it successfully. So I congratulate all of you. May God continue to help you in Jesus Christ's mighty name. The ability to think outside the box cannot be swept under the carpet, because approaching our problems as Nigerians in an innovative way that goes beyond conventional methods to find new and creative solutions is the only way out of Nigeria's present economic, educational, religious, cultural, and political problems, among others. What I mean by innovative approach is, as these people are doing, making huge investments to mobilize for the dispensation and distribution of ideas, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is by far a more worthwhile alternative to a conventional system of mobilizing to share wrappers, bicycles, clippers, dilapidated cars, and what have you for selfish political reasons that keep them pushing Nigeria and its innocent citizenry deeper into a bottomless pit inhabited by pythons and other dangerous creatures. So, as these people are doing this, they at class 2009 members are doing this, those who will become class 2000 and 2025, class 2026, and so on are watching. And I believe they are already beginning to dream that they will do better things when that time comes. As far as life is concerned, every big thing, every great thing begins as a dream. So as you are seated, make sure you have a dream. Are you hearing me? And don't dream. I don't mean only the dream that you dream when you are asleep. I have a belief that the great dreams while awake, but the low dream only while asleep. So, as students, you should have dreams. The first speaker talked about an American, a black American, Martin Luther King Jr., who mounted the podium many years ago, and announced that he has a dream. Not long from today, I believe to see from these students, those who will mount one podium after the other to announce their dreams. And as a pastor, I pray for you, may God give you dreams. In the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Except you have a dream, you have nothing to accomplish. So you must dream. I sincerely commend our efforts, the efforts of the executive and members of class 2009 of this great association to help both the young and the old to think better. No man grows better except he thinks better. No country the world over can succumb to or defeat economic, religious, political, social, or any other problem except the majority of its citizens, especially the political class and other policy makers and implementers, think, talk, and act reasonably. I like to let people know that the thoughts that are in a man's heart, the things on your mind, become the action you take and become the words you speak. Everybody lives according to the way he thinks. This country that you are saying, Nigeria, is just the way our leaders think. And I believe God will help all of us to think right. Even let me tell you, this is Lutheran High School, Oborida. Am I correct? And we have a principal. He who is the sailor, the pilot, the person who drives the affairs in this place. If you are good observant as students, you will see that different principles bring in different things or the other. So it is just the way you see things. You've got to see things right before you begin to live right. The cardinal reason that we are here. We have come, we have gathered to teach our young ones and perhaps many others how to think and to think right. A wise thinker is a peacemaker, life and society builder. He is superior to a rich drug baron who endangers other species and the entire society. You know, we have social media, and children like to patronize social media a lot. And at times, we see drug barons, we see all kinds of people parading themselves, brandishing perhaps good cars and so on. And some students may feel inferior to them. But I want to let you know today, a creative thinker, if you can read, if you can grow and become a creative thinker, you are superior to a drug baron, no matter what he does. And that's why we are here this day. Let me mention at this point that my presentation will be somehow stereotyped because I have been given a topic to speak on. And the topic is planning your path, education and career mapping, vocational versus academic path. What is right for you? What is right for you? I can imagine the answers that different people would chorus if I ask you. But at this point, I deem it pertinent to bring up a line or two from a poem written by Alex Walker. And I quote, "If I were you and you were me, you would see things that can never be." I love this poem, these lines. If I were you and you were me, you will see things that can never be. Now, when Alex Walker wrote this poem, he had grown and trained himself long enough to know the things that cannot be. There are things that have never been and will never be. But not everybody knows this kind of things. I also crafted a short poem that I must render to enable me bring to fore the reason I have quoted my brother of the pen profession, Alex Walker. And the poem goes, "If I were you, but I am me and can never be you, as you can never be me. So we may never completely agree. But it is not a must we agree in totality before we live together in unity. There is beauty in diversity. Black is a wonderful color. White, perhaps you know, compatriots, is adorable, quite unique a color. But they too, when together tailored, emit beauty, odor, and color that none could individually brandish. Hence, there is beauty in diversity. I am saying this because, in my understanding, the title I am given to speak on is both academic and cumbersome. But none may agree with me because the organizers of this educational convocation, who crafted the title, followed a time-honored traditional style that academics and scholars deploy to frame titles and topics for seminar papers, projects, theses, and what have you, which at times make them to take 4 or more years to teach a child the things that he may never need throughout his lifetime, grounding that no knowledge is ever wasted, which is a quote attributed to Ben Carson and several other authors. We are in a system, we are in a nation. You are now in secondary school. Some of us have passed through the university by the grace of God. And as I am talking, one of the things I discovered in education system is that they can keep you at a university for 4 years. They design a program and they teach you so many things that you will not need throughout your lifetime. And at times the graduates come out not specialists in any field. Not because of any other reason, but because of the traditional, time honored traditional way of crafting titles, crafting, designing subjects and courses, which by me should be broken. Yeah, I'm very serious. Should be broken and thrown away. All a man needs in life are the things that will make him to succeed in life. Anything that has no role to play in your success, truly you don't need. So when they say, I'm believing God for a university system, that when they want to train a lawyer, they train a lawyer and it comes out a sound lawyer. A university system that they want to train a mathematician, they teach you the maths you will need. Not everything. But I have mentioned the reason they do this thing. Ben Carson had said earlier that no knowledge is ever wasted. As much as I agree with Ben Carson and other creative thinkers that no knowledge is ever wasted, I strongly opine that a child should be exposed primarily to the knowledge that will help him to realize who he is. That's my belief. As you are seated, what you need most, the knowledge you need most, is the knowledge that will help you to realize who you are. You need the knowledge that will help you to discover the career and how to discover the career you should go into and how to build a fortune. Not to be stuck somewhere for 4 years because of time honored tradition to keep teaching you what you may not need. It is by so doing that the child shall grow into a mighty tree that 1,000,000 birds will perch on. Why the organizers of this program have done it is to make sure the children who are here grow into mighty trees that millions of birds will perch on. And as many as you are here, God will help you to become one of such. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. So you need knowledge. We need to train knowledge. We need to train disciplines in our education system so that we produce experts in different fields. This is my understanding. I'm very serious. This is my understanding. And becoming successful in life, when they talk about career mapping, when they talk about planning, if all of them bow down to one thing, you venturing into a path that will make you successful. And as far as I am concerned, becoming successful in life is not negotiable, but obligatory. Because a life that is not impactful is not worth living. As a little girl, as a little boy, you must begin to tell yourself that you must live a life that is impactful. Even from now, let me tell you, as a student, work hard to be better than your colleague, your peer. Work hard, read mathematics, read English language, and understand it better than your peer, your classmate, so that your classmate can come to you for assistance. As you are assisting your classmate, you are living a life that is impactful. Are you hearing me? Is that correct? So it's good that we make sure we are impactful wherever we are. Because a life that is not impactful, as I have said, is not worth living. A child, as I've said earlier, needs knowledge that will help him think outside the box and develop the character and capacity that will enable him to take his people out of bondage of any kind. You should start now to tell yourself that you are coming to take your family out of bondage. That's why they talk about career mapping. That's why they talk about education. So that you learn and know how to become prosperous, successful, so that you can take your father, take your mother, take your family, take Nigeria as a nation out of bondage. 2.0, clarification of concepts. As I have said, the topic of this paper is in tandem with conventional or standard way of crafting lecture and other titles to suit time-honored academic culture or tradition. Hence, it is necessary to clarify some key concepts used in the paper to ensure that the audience is properly guided to have a more sound and deeper understanding of suspended meanings in order to navigate along the train of thought. Thus, the following concept must be briefly discussed. Planning your path. Planning your path. Planning your path simply means creating a strategic roadmap that will surely enable you to achieve your personal and professional goals. By setting milestones and identifying the steps needed to realize them, it encapsulates defining your objectives, understanding who you really are, and taking steps to acquire the skills that will make it possible for you to achieve your personal and professional dreams to the glory of God and to the benefit of mankind. That's the meaning of planning your path. Developing, designing a strategic road map that you follow consciously and carefully. So, if you are planning to become a lawyer, for instance, this is when you begin to design how you will get there. I'm sure your school has, what do we call it, timetable for you. Also, design your personal study timetable. After school, perhaps at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., what do you do? Very, very important. So that you can allocate enough time towards the things that will help you to realize your personal and your professional, your career dreams. Because if you don't start now, you will discover that it will come too late for you to be able to do it. Now, when we talk about planning your path, there are some cardinal features that cannot be swept under the carpet. One, identification of goals. In planning your path, it is necessary you identify the goals that you want to achieve. Students, all of us who are here, in planning your path, very number one thing is identify the goals that you want to achieve. Even as you are in school, you should identify the goal you want to achieve. Why are you in school? As students, now that you are here in the village that you come from, there are people who are not in school. Why are you here? Is it that you want to gain knowledge, you want to acquire knowledge and become a better person? So you must identify the goal. It is worthy of mention, however, that it is pertinent you create short-term goals that will help you to realize your personal and professional long-term goals. Otherwise, you will not be able to get there. As it is widely said, that Rome was not built in a day. The sure way to fell a big tree is to chop it gradually, but with strong determination not to drop the axe except the tree is down. That is what to consider why mapping, why planning your path. Very, very important. This is the mindset that those who want to go far must have. You must not give up. Perhaps you want to become a medical doctor tomorrow. That's why we are here. You know that you must do physics. You know that you must do chemistry. You know that you must do biology, mathematics, and so on. And as you are entering the class, you find it difficult to understand any of the subject. It is not a good reason for you to jettison your dream of becoming a medical doctor. All you need to do is to work harder. Give more time to that subject that give you more difficulty. And as you do this, you will discover that you can understand it. Let nothing be difficult enough to give you a reason to give up in life or give up on that thing. Once you have set your goal, once you have identified your goal, go head on, no matter the case. When you see people high up there, children will think it has always been so. No man, no student has moved from the bottom to the top without a fall. So as you are growing, know that there will be challenges. As you want to become a lawyer, as you want to become a medical doctor, know that there will be challenges. And the only thing you must do is to dare, is to solve those challenges and move on. How many students here will do that? Let me see your hand. Are you sure? Praise the name of the Lord. One thing you must not do is don't give up. A man fails, immediately he gives up. A child fails, immediately he gives up. But if you continue having design and identifying your goal, as long as you don't give up, you will surely get there. B, creation of a realizable roadmap. I'm talking about what you must follow in planning your path. In planning your path, it is necessary you design or develop a guide or definite steps that you must follow without deviation till you realize your intentions. The speaker who spoke before me talked about you remaining focused. As far as life is concerned, one of the most important things is remain focused. Now that you are a student, let no other thing in this world become more important than you continue to read, than you reading and working to succeed as a student. That's what I mean by realizable goals that you pursue without deviation till you realize your intentions. Such strategies, such strategic steps may include going to secular school or understanding or undergoing private studies, apprenticeship, training, specific job experiences, and so on. This will help you to identify the skill that you must acquire, improve upon, or develop to enable you advance and climb your personal and professional ladder to the peak. You need skill. While you are in school, well, acquisition of skill in education nowadays, well, God will help us. But the truth is, it's good to develop skill. So when you identify the goals you want to achieve, the intentions you want to achieve, also identify the skills that you need. Because without developing those skills, you will not realize those goals. Nothing just happen in life. Things happen because people make them to happen. That your life you are living is exactly what you make it to be. And I like to let people know, students, the life you are living today, what you are going through today, are the decisions you took before today. And the life you will live tomorrow will be the totality of the decisions you are taking today. So design your goal, design your life, and follow them properly. C, taking informed decisions. I've talked about decision. The importance of decision making in life cannot be overemphasized. Individuality cannot be overemphasized. Every person in this world, every individual is the totality of the decisions that the person has made in life, consciously and unconsciously over the time. Passion, that's the passion, motivation, and self-confidence. No one the world over can achieve a worldwide goal without passion, self-confidence. Passion, motivation, and self-confidence. No one the world over can achieve a worldwide goal without passion, motivation, and self-confidence. Very important. As students, you must know this. And whoever has a clear path swims in passion, motivation, and self-confidence because they are offshoots of a clear path. Therefore, in planning your path, you must consider your passion, motivation, and self-confidence. Very, very important. Number two, remember I told you clarification of concept, education, and career mapping. These are found in the title of this message, this paper. Education and career mapping. Education is a process of imparting knowledge. That's why you are here. Skills, character, judgment, and so on. In other words, education means the totality of a person's academic navigation, perhaps from kindergarten to elementary school, high school, and college to all other learning or training. It includes a natural progression or evolution or metamorphosis within the within the formal education system. This is the meaning of education. All that you are doing within the formal education system. Mentioning formal education here means there is informal education. That's the truth. I've mentioned formal education, and that means there is informal education. Then, what is informal education? One may ask. Informal education simply means private or personal learning or acquisition of knowledge that takes place outside of the formal education system. It is a system that one learns through environmental influences, daily experiences, social groups, travel, picking up skills from parents, and self-directed study without a designed curriculum. Consequent upon a person's strong desire or passion for learning, which is usually motivated by strong determination or willingness to defeat poverty and societal influence that might have impeded his chances of moving or having good formal education. That's the meaning of informal education. There is something like that. But at this point, I also feel obliged to mention that the most outstanding difference between formal and informal education is that formal education takes place within the formal education system with fixed curriculum, while informal education occurs outside of the formal education system without fixed curriculum or schedule. But none is indeed a determinant factor of how far one goes in life. Don't have any reason not to succeed in life. Today you are in secondary school. I believe that after now you'll enter the university and you move on. But if you can follow what I'm talking about, I'm telling you another form of education different from this one that people still follow and become successful in life. This hypothesis is founded because several great men and women have sprouted from both education systems. For instance, Plato and Socrates, the ancient Greek philosophers who created the first written text on formal education. Yes, both of them created the first written text on formal education. They had formal education actually. But it is also on record that Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States of America. I don't know how many of you read history, but I believe you are good history students. You don't need to study history before you read to understand the world. Students, is that okay? So the man I have just mentioned, Abraham Lincoln, happened to be the 16th president of the United States of America, and he was a president from 1861 to 1865. Now, that man was to a great extent self-educated. I don't pray that your father doesn't have school fees to pay for you to remain in the formal education sector. But whether you are here or you are outside here, you can still get educated. You can still design the career you want. You can still design great goals and work until you achieve them. Abraham Lincoln, to a great extent, was self-educated. He learned to read, write, speak, and perform basic arithmetic through his own reading and study. And I want to ask the students, if someone who didn't have or doesn't have the opportunity of going to school will stay at home and study and read and become intelligent and become wise and become successful, what reason do you have not to be successful, not to read and become intelligent, not to design great path and follow? No reason. So work hard and make sure you are successful. Abraham Lincoln became a lawyer through the self-directed learning. So as I'm telling you, I've read about him. I know everything, a lot of things about him. So when he became a lawyer, till the time he became a lawyer, he did not attend any university. He read on his own, so he designed his own timetable, followed it, studied, and became a lawyer. Though it took him longer than most others to pass the bar examinations, which he finally passed and received a license to practice law in 1836. That's when Abraham Lincoln became a lawyer, received a license to practice law. The only thing, let me tell you what I'm talking about. God forbid your father doesn't have money to pay for you to remain here. You can stay at home and study. You can still design, map out your career, and from home you pay when it is time to write the GC, WAEC, you meet your lecturer, your principal, you meet. There must be a way you write the exams and pass. Abraham Lincoln did that. That means you have no reason not to succeed and become successful. So he became a lawyer and he did it very well. One of his words on marble is, I will study and prepare myself, and someday the opportunity will come. I will study and prepare myself, and someday the opportunity will come. That's what Abraham Lincoln said. And that is exactly what he did. When you are in school, study and prepare yourself. Someday the opportunity will come for you to become a great man, a great woman, a president, a governor, a commissioner, or any other thing. And the next concept is career mapping. Career mapping in a nutshell means to systematically plan your career by designing a stairway that your personal goals and industry need to work together, with one complementing the other in one way or the other. That's the meaning of career mapping. To systematically plan your career by designing a stairway that your personal goals and industry need to work together, with one complementing the other in one way or the other. This concept demands that you assess yourself, interests, skills, and values in order to be able to point out or fathom categorically steps needed for professional growth. You must, as you are sitting in this house, students, this is when you must discover who you are, when you must know yourself. I remember the question one of you asked, and the speaker answered, your father should not impose a curse on you. But when you cannot discover yourself, when you don't know who you are, anybody will impose anything on you, and you have no choice. A man who cannot discover himself cannot have choices, cannot know what to do and what not to do. He can't even know what to accept and what not to accept. That's career mapping. Now, education and career mapping, that is marrying them. I have said a lot about education and a little about career mapping. Now, let me marry the two and clarify the concepts. Education and career mapping. Education and career mapping are both processes of combining academic and career planning to create a realistic roadmap that would lead to great attainment or success. Developing, designing, both combining academic and career planning. Now that you are students, very soon you enter the university and come out a graduate with first degree, and you have a job to do. Do you stop your education at that point? No. You plan your career, you plan your academic, you design a goal that you are working, you are still learning, you are still going to school, you are still adding values to yourself because as far as life is concerned, we must continue to grow. The day a man stops to grow, he begins to die. Nobody is static in life. Nobody is stagnant. Students, if you are not getting better, it means you are getting worse. What did I say? Now, if you met, if you take first position in JS1, what should you take? What position should you take in JS2? JS3. If you now take, I did not hear, JS3. First. Now, if you take third position, what is going on? Are you getting better or you are getting worse? So you either appreciate in value or you depreciate. But let nobody deceive you. One out of these two is happening in everybody's life. Vocational and academic parts. The vocational part is a system of learning or acquisition of skills through practical apprenticeship or technical training for one trade slash career or the other. More often than not, through short-term programs which make vocational path more attractive, acceptable, and celebratable to unexposed children and children from poor homes. Academic path. On the other hand, academic path involves wide theoretical knowledge acquisition, progression from perhaps a primary school pupil to secondary school student and university graduates who through the process gains a wider range of education or knowledge for diverse career opportunities. 3.0 Vocational versus academic path. What is right for you, a child? That's what they say should answer. Vocational versus academic path. What is right for you, a child? In my understanding, answering this question, which is given little or no recognition in the title of this paper as crafted by the organizers, is the reason I am here. Scope and focus. Vocational part is very narrow because it provides knowledge and skill for a singular occupation or trade like tailoring, shoemaking, and mending, carpentry, and printing, among others. Academic part, long as it may, exposes one to a wide range of learning through theoretical knowledge, research, paper presentation, and critical thinking. Learning technique. Vocational learning technique. They say you should choose one. That's why I'm comparing and contrasting for you to know the one to choose. Vocational learning technique is usually practical, local, and hands-on. This automatically makes learning difficult and boring. Academic learning methodology is theoretical, analytical, and conceptual. This makes acquisition and application of knowledge universal, implied, and accessible. C. Curriculum. Vocational training does not have a standard curriculum, and its curriculum, like learning plan, is limited because it is usually designed by industry experts to meet the needs of a particular trade or career. Rather, academic curriculum is usually a combination of a wide range of subjects with less emphasis on a particular job specification, and that's a very big advantage. 3.1, which path to choose or what is right? Answering the question now. In answering this question, I strongly perceive that many people will be disappointed because perhaps they might have expected me to say that academic path is the only road to paradise, while vocational path leads to hell, and as such is a no-go area. But that is not very true. This takes me to some lines of the poem I read earlier, which says, if I were you, but I am me and can never be you, as you can never be me. Again, as William Shakespeare rightly says, fair is foul and foul is fair. I totally agree with his postulation because experience has taught me that right is wrong and wrong is right as far as life is concerned. Life, action, and inaction basically depend on several variables. Life is dynamic. Everybody did not take off from the same spot and cannot get to the same spot. As Martin Luther King rightly said, the first speaker quoted this: students, note things like this, you need them. As Martin Luther rightly said, those who cannot fly should run. Those who cannot run should walk. And those who cannot walk should crawl. That is the life you must live. You must be able to do something. In presenting a fair and balanced judgment, let me quote Socrates, an Athenian philosopher who said, man, know thyself. Every child should first know himself, family history and background, and then choose vocational path if he has reasons to quickly gain specific skills for a particular job that will put him on the labor market. That's one condition that one can choose vocational path. On the other hand, a child who wants to develop a wider foundation of knowledge, pursue research, or have a career that may require advanced traditional degrees should choose academic path and delve in head on until he realizes the goal. 4.0, as I will soon leave. Effective education and career mapping. I want to quote a woman, Eleanor Roosevelt, a former First Lady of the United States, said, and I quote, about the only value the story of my life may have is to show that one can, even without any particular gifts, overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable if one is willing to face the fact that they must be overcome. That in spite of timidity and fear, and in spite of a lack of special talent, one can find a way to live widely and fully. As I have quoted, no one the world over needs special talents or luck to succeed in life. What we need is effective education and career mapping or planning, which means studying hard and in tandem with our dream career or the work at hand. As Lombardi, another good man, said, the price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand. So the sure way for one who is in school to enjoy good career life in future is to study dedicatedly. He should know that there will be no success without work. This is the reason Margaret Thatcher said, I do not know anyone who has got to the top without hard work, and she's very correct. Student, as you are getting sitting, the only way to get to the top is to work hard. This means only a man who is hardworking and diligent shall be successful and stand before kings. And this is also recorded in the Bible, according to Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29. Though many people believe in luck, no matter how lucky one is, he will not succeed in education and career except he works hard. As a matter of fact, the harder people work, the luckier they appear. There's no time to explain that. But what I'm trying to let you know, those men you see who look very wonderful and you think they are luckier than you, the truth is they work harder than you do. So the harder people work, the luckier they appear. This is why we need effective education to learn how to think and how to work effectively. Because education refines and distills a man in totality. As Nelson Mandela taught, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. A child who wants to change the world must study hard. That's why we are here. This means one needs education to have a career that will enable him to add value to himself, his family, and the larger society. This concept made John Dewey to say that education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. You who are in school as students, that should let you know how to take your studies seriously. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. That means no education, no life. So sit tight and study hard. Only those who are truly educated are truly living. This is the reason many people, including me, prefer academic path to vocational path. I want to believe you are following the way I'm answering the question. Academic path and vocational path, which one should you follow? So many people, including me, prefer academic path to vocational path. And of a truth, it is advisable to choose academic path. Keys to in a succeeding academic and career path. The keys you must follow in succeeding in your academic and career path. One, know yourself, as I said earlier. Only those who know themselves know what to accept or reject. This is knowing how, when, and what to choose and doing them, and this is wisdom. In the words of Charles Spurgeon, wisdom is the right use of knowledge. Students, you should know the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is the right use of knowledge. To know is not to be wise. Many know a great deal and are all to the greater fools for it. But to know how to use knowledge is to have wisdom. And this is very important in education and career mapping. Number two, know your divine mission. One must know his God-given mission because every creature that has breath has a mission. Man's truest and worthiest mission is the one assigned him by the Creator. A person who follows a divine mission is like a rail car on a railroad, while one who wobbles through various facets of life is like a rail car on a third road. See, study or work hard how to succeed as a student and in your career as a worker. Study and work hard. The importance of working hard cannot be overemphasized because none has ever accomplished a great thing without sweat. As it is widely said, nothing good comes easy, and hard work is a God capable of making one great. Develop good character and habits Student, I'm telling you how to succeed as a student, as a worker, and in this life. Develop good character and habits in education and career growth. Good character is necessary because good character is a ladder that takes people up, while bad character is a ladder that takes people down. Students, know that good character will take you up, bad character will surely take you down. And so does good work habit take people up. He set clear and realizable goals and have no stone on and leave no stone unturned to achieve them. Goal setting is a necessity because it helps one to stay focused. I can't go further than that there. Develop positive and growth mindset. There is something called mindset. No one can successfully climb education and career ladder except we first develop positive and growth mindset because a man's life is the totality of his mindset. No one grows better than he thinks and believes. No one. G. Discover and cultivate positive attitude to attract positive relationship that will propel you to stand up. Surround yourself with people who are positive. Students, let all your friends be people who are positive. It's very important in life. With people who are positive, creative, productive, and supportive that will surely help you to realize your education and career dream. Take the right action at the right time. Very important. Knowing that not to act is to act, as those who do not plan to succeed automatically plan to fail. This is why you must take the right action. Finally, here, embrace failure as an opportunity to learn and grow better. Those who fear to fall, fear to try, and live to fail. So do not fear to fall. If you must succeed, and remember to rise again whenever you fall. Conclusion. Academic path is in a way more double, productive, and celebratable than vocational path. Students, this is how I conclude it so that I go away. Academic path is in a way more noble, productive, and celebratable than vocational path, especially in Nigeria. So I will advise those who are fortunate enough to have the sources and resources to choose academic path instead of vocational. Even if you choose to work as a motor vehicle mechanic, it is better you take academic path to study that in college or university, and you will have advantages over one who learned that at a particular expert automobile workshop. Finally, which path Finally, whichever path you choose, remember to live a life of integrity, dignity, and honor. Even when you are pushed to the wall, remember decency, courtesy, and accuracy in anger, lack, disappointment, and utter hopeless situation. Because life is not a bed of roses. Men fall and rise until they become champions. So, as you are learning and growing, don't give up no matter the case. And don't sacrifice standard values for any reason. Your greatness is not in how much wealth you harness, rather, your integrity and ability to emit positive influence wherever you are. So arise and dare, choose a field and delve deep into it till you emerge a star or victor and write history that will form a chapter or more of the world history. Such is life. God bless you. Thank you.